Welcome to
Creek!
We picked a big one.
Is that good?
Yeah. I didn't think you picked the biggest one there.
He's trying to get me. Lift heavy rock.
You're doing a great job too, honey. Keep up the good work. Let me help, babe.
Thanks.
I wanted to show y'all how I cover up this wood after we get done stacking it. I've had the wind blow so hard that it literally ripped a piece of tin in half. We're up here at 2,800 feet on top of a mountain. And if you don't tie stuff down like this, it will leave from here. So you want to put rock, you know, running down every support on the roof. And I ended up using 2 things of baling twine tied to a sticker, a little piece of sticker. Get one of them that's all jacked up, drive it in, and then put a wedge in here so it stays put deep down in the pile, you know, depending on how crazy your wind situation is. Now I put rock on the end here because, you know, the boards are left out random, so they're going to want to raise. Same with this thing, and then same with that right there. So you always catch those ends every chance you get. And then here's your support, and it's screwed down to this board, which is held down by the rock, which is on stickers, so you get airflow. So you'll get airflow underneath the boards, held down with a rock. That's it. Maybe some of you can find that helpful. You know, it's baling twine and stout stuff and just a 2-inch screw. I did build a frame out of the 2x that I milled with this massive poplars. So you just put down some roofing felt, old tin, you know, nothing fancy. It's got holes all in it. You know, it can get wet, it just can't stay wet. You know, in order to dry, obviously, it stays wet, it won't dry. Yeah, that's right. So we finally lived long enough to mill all this poplar. And we wanted to give you all a
takeaway.
Right? Because it's like, how much wood did you get? Is it worth it?
Was it worth it? It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
And so there's 2 different modes of thinking, okay? One of which is your tree hugger mode. If you harvest a tree, you know, it's kind of, you're obligated.
It's sacred.
Maybe even sacred for some, to utilize all that you've harvested. Same with a deer or anything else you might harvest. A fish, for instance. You know, you don't want to eat half of it, throw the other half away. It's unethical. Now, you have the other standpoint. Is it economically viable? Okay? Are you going to make a living or even break even milling huge, massive logs, especially that you have to transport any distance at all? I was about 2 hours away, about 100 miles away is where my buddy lived. And you got to factor in, you know, running into metal like this and like this and like this, for instance, like we did.
And how many blades did we go through because of that?
Probably about 6 blades. They weren't new, but they were 6 blades that I personally held, you know, dear to me, you know.
Because we're out in the middle
of
nowhere.
I had sentimental value, right? And every time you run a blade, folks, it is just
disheartening.
So at any rate, you got to factor in that. So it's probably about $250 worth of blades. Mm-hmm. And you know, the mills, they won't even take a log over 36 inches. And these are full-on industrial mills. They don't even mess with it, which is a good indication that it's probably not in your best interest to do so. Now, with having said that,
so how many boards did we get?
We got just the big 18-foot 2x12s alone. We got 60.
That sounds good. I like that number.
It is. It's a good round number. Now, a pine, I didn't really call around and get quotes because I didn't want to waste anybody's time, but I needed to. And I don't have enough experience with poplar to really know what the market value is, even in the Southeast. And I imagine, you know, it's availability and things of this nature. So if any of you do know what, you know, that much poplar might be worth, please comment. just for the sake of letting everybody else know, for that matter.
Well, how much
Now-
was a pine?
Exactly. Okay, so a pine 20-footer was 50 bucks. And so you got to assume an 18-footer is probably about 45 bucks. So we're just going to say 50 bucks because it's a nice even number. We got 60 of them. So that's $3,000 worth of just your longer framing members. So that's something, you know, that's something that we did not have previously.
Correct, yes.
But from what I've spoke with people and what I've read and my own circumstances, you really can't make a living with a sawmill going out and getting lumber and moving it all the way here, that size, and or moving all your equipment to someone else's land and harvesting their wood and, say, splitting it. So you really have to be compensated for your time and materials and fuel and things of this nature in addition to wood in order for it to be
Worth it.
be worth it. Yeah. You know, or you'll go broke is what will happen.
Now, would you do it again?
Would you do it again? Right.
Well, it was fun, but
Time heals all wounds.
It put us a little behind, so it was something unexpected.
It's time consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really time consuming.
But we did get a lot of good wood from it.
And check out all the cool videos, right?
Yeah, and you
So
guys got
this
to
is
see
the
all
end of the
this.
series.
Yeah, so be sure to go back and look at the different parts that we did with felling and ripping and transporting and pressure washing.
And ultimately, we hope you guys, you know, got something out of it. And if nothing else, what not to do, right? That's a thing.
Sounds good.
See y'all.